Hello, hi everyone. New diamond switches? We're using some. I have a lot of the diamond switches I picked up, so I lubed another batch. Hi everybody. Hello. Nipple switches again? Yeah, I have this is my last set of these, and then I have just all black ones next that I'm gonna do. I've been enjoying them. I like the diamond switches. Still processing daylight savings. Dude, I screwed up big time yesterday and I didn't know. So, long story short, by the time I was like ready to sleep, I'm like, why did why is it so late? And I just thought I lost track of time. I thought I was losing my mind because, to be fair, I had no idea. Like I was like in the dark about it all. I'm like, why is it suddenly like 3 a.m. in the morning? And then it dawned. Well, then my girlfriend was just like, it's because daylight savings or whatever it is now. And I'm just like, yeah, it's going to be a rough morning waking up. So I watched the clock switch and I was like, uh-oh. Me too. Time jumped from 2 to 3 and I was like, what the fuck? Yeah. It really screwed up. Like, I'm not going to lie, guys. It really screwed up my morning. I woke up. I wanted to wake up to do a whole bunch of other stuff, including even shave, because this is kind of getting itchy now, and I just didn't have the time because I also had to prep the last few of these switches, and I was like just kind of scrambling this morning because I kind of lost an hour. But what a crazy one. Also, what's up, Big Boss? What's up, Annie? What's up, Boney? What's up, Toxic? Nanu, Six, Dynamic, how you doing? Bowl, good afternoon, guys. Time change has messed me up. Dude, they should just stop doing that. So like my beard is so itchy right now because I just need to shave it. I really need to get this. Zany, what's up, dude? Really need to get this off my face right now. I hope you got Bruce Lee or Darth Vader color. Yeah, this is a fun board. I don't want to jump right into it right away because I want to chit chat a little bit, but you know, I have a soft spot for Gray Studio, so this is something I've been looking forward to building as well. But I haven't actually taken off the cellophane yet. I think I know what color I got, although it doesn't. Yeah, okay, it does say. I will itch it for you? What? Uh-huh. It's nice living somewhere that doesn't do the time change. Yeah. I don't know why we just don't get rid of it already, but shaving stream? No. Shaving will be done probably after stream today. Like, I'm going to do it really quick after stream. I also have to let my electric razor thing charge too. What's the deal with Jack Daniels in Canada? I think they got rid of it all. I think. The board looks crazy cool. A little out there for me, but still looks sweet. Yeah, dude. Honestly, Gray Studios makes cool things. I don't know if this is all Potter's design or if this is considered a collaboration design or G-Works. I don't know if G-Works is supposed to be Gray Studios. Like, I don't actually know. It looks like something Potter designed. And I don't know if this is like a sub thing, a sub studio that just, it's going to be in stock only. So that I didn't know, but hype for this board? Me too, dude. Okay, I got a rush of nostalgia today because Gray Studios was, believe it or not, one of the first brands that had reached out to me a long time ago and was like, hey, would you want to build one of our boards? Like, for stream. I think not one of, they were the first brand to ever reach out to me. And it was like, I was humbled when they reached out. And to this day, like, every time, it's not often that you see a lot of the Gray Studios stuff. So every time I do get to see one, I'm like, this is going to be a fun stream today. So G-Works is like a side project that aren't part of Think and Spaceline. It makes sense. That makes sense. It's very confusing for us too. Yeah, I mean, all the brands have been doing that for some weird reason, which, by the way, I get it, but I also don't get it. There are so many brands that nowadays, they create sub-lineups for like cheaper things. And what's really annoying about this, hear me out. I think from maybe someone who's already kind of invested in the hobby, when you see like brand A make a sub-brand called A2 or A1, and they're like, we want to do this to differentiate ourselves, but they're still promoting brand A2 on all of their main brands, you're just kind of like, what was the point of that? So I do find it a little strange that you got businesses making like all these sub brands, but then still using like their collective umbrella brand to like promote everything. It's so confusing. It's so weird to me. Just like use the one brand and just call it your cheaper series. It just, I've never understood. Never. Like, I get it if you're creating a whole new brand and then just kind of want to be like, we don't know who they are. You know, wink. But they're not. Ask the marketing interns. Yeah. Tim kept me up playing Tarkov. Jeez, how long did you guys stay up playing games? No, against my will? Damn. I think it's more like a one-off design than a brand. Well, I'm still really excited for this, Oak. Shout out to Oak too. Oak is a mod there on the Gray Studios Discord, and Oak does a really good job. He does a good job in ours too. Hello, this time you influenced me to buy Nixies. I'm going to be doing filming and spring swapping. Do you recommend lubing? Yes, dude, 110%. So nice.
Well, 458 gifted a tier 1 sub to Brunhilde.
JN, thank you so much for the tier 1, man. I appreciate it, dude. Thank you, guys. But yeah, today's gonna be a bit of a weird one for me because I have to do some errands after this, and then I also want to shave, and then I want to do one more thing, and then actually let me see something before I promise you guys this. I need to double check. Oh goodness. And then on hopefully Tuesday or Wednesday, I might have a batch or two of MX Blacks going up on my website. They're going to be filmed and spring swapped, MX2As, that are done with GS2 lube. I've never actually done GS2 MX Blacks, so I've lubed and filmed a whole bunch already. You guys can kind of see. I did a whole bunch, and I'm going to be testing them privately to see if I like it with the GS2 lube. And then if I like them, I'll list them. But we'll see. So far I've lubed 110. I want to get like 200 done. That way I can build a whole board with one and test it for a day before I say like these are good or not. Brand protection is one of the reasons why this happens, in case it's not well received, but they don't really apply for keyboards, so it's odd. Yeah, I agree, Burn. It's like all done in-house anyways, so. No, I don't know if I've tried MX2A Nixies yet. I have no idea, dude. Can you speak a little on GS lubes versus Krytox versus Tribosis? So I can't speak on like the chemical properties of them because I don't know. But from my experience with 205G0 from Krytox, the GS series of lubes, which are carbon-based and Tribosis, Krytox, depending on, let's just go with the standards, 205G0. That one there, sorry, my throat is killing me today. That one there, I find, is a good all-around lubricant for everything. It is a little bit more solid, like it's not as runny as the carbon-based lubes, the GS2. And I use 205 for everything. Tribosis, depending on the one you get, which a lot of people probably would get 3203 or 3204, I find is a little bit thinner feeling. So you don't get quite as much as a like full sound when you lube something, applying the same amount as you would. It's a bit thinner feeling. I've grown to not really care for Tribosis personally. I don't like the way it ends up sounding in my switches. I just feel like it doesn't do much for the sound. It does help with smoothness, but not so much for the sound properties that I'm looking for. Now GS2 is a fun one because GS2 is a lot more runny. So it's also a little bit deceptive on how much you actually need to put on a switch. I feel like with GS2 you put a little bit less and it does a lot more. So what I found is I end up having a lot more GS2 at the end of lubing a batch. Like I have leftovers versus the 205. It also, for me, produces a bit more of a fuller, deeper sound. Not as in the middle as 205G0. So that I've been really enjoying GS2. I think it's technically a little bit more expensive, but for me, it's something that I almost prefer. There also is some other lubing methods that I've been kind of experimenting with. So there's dry lubing, which is essentially like a PTFE coating. That one there sounds really interesting, and that's pretty popular apparently in Korea. But there's some interesting ones. It means it's easier to overlube GS2 a little bit, but it's also easier to just take it off. You can just literally take a dry brush and wipe it off, and I feel like it just removes basically all of it. I was told Krytox for linear and Tribosis for tactile. Yeah, usually that's the old rule of thumb because people would use a thinner lubricant for tactiles because you didn't want tactiles to feel extremely smooth everywhere. You wanted to have a little bit of that, tactility. So, anyone knows if there's a post or something detailing the inspo of this board, or the Macross name is just a coincidence and not related to the enemy series? So I was also looking into that because I don't know much about the anime series, but I was thinking, oh, is this inspired by? But I don't know much about the anime. But maybe it was my answer. I don't know. I don't know if it's just a coincidence. Thank you so much, Alex, for interesting and very informative. Honestly, I've never heard a single person say this much and compare the new GS loops. I like the GS stuff. It's nice.
22 wow, wow, have a good stream.
Thank you, Cavi. I really appreciate the tier 2, man. I wanted to ask you guys something. A few people have expressed interest. Okay, I don't know how to word this because this wasn't really a speech I was planning to make, but a few people have expressed interest in potentially creating some other... So, okay, let me start from scratch. Essentially, there's going to be a few things happening with the Discord server. I'm going to be cleaning up a lot of the channels. Some of them just don't get used. And not for nothing, a lot of the times, like movies and TV, video games, coffee, sports, they all get discussed in general discussion anyways. So I'm going to clean up because I don't like seeing a lot of these channels that only get like one message every like day when we have general discussion, which is moving like super fast and quick. So I also don't like looking at a billion channels on the Discord. So I'm going to clean up a whole bunch of them. But then a few people were expressing some want for different roles in the Discord. I don't know. I didn't really understand what they meant. So I was discussing with a few people last night. And they kind of want special roles, like supporter roles, like outside of Twitch, because some people don't want to sub to Twitch, but they still want to support content. I was researching it last night, and I can technically set up special roles that if you want to support the Discord server and get a special role that you can. I don't know if you guys are interested. I was even thinking about making like a little special like VIP club for that too, where you can chit chat there if you want, which I doubt will get used, but I don't know. If you guys want, I can set that thing up. It would probably be just a special role with like a special color on the name, but there's one of the bots we use. Yeah, and there'd be like more emotes and stuff like that too. One of the bots we use has one of those things that I can set up. So, yeah, and then the reasoning why was people were expressing they didn't want Twitch to take half of their money if they wanted to sub. So I could set up something like that. The way I was looking at it would be really, really awesome for subscribing, but it's ultimately up to you guys. I don't know if people would even use it. I might set it up this week, and then I just need to decide on a color for the special role and stuff like that. So yeah, so it sounds interesting. I don't think you'll be losing anything by doing it. Yeah, I can set it up. Maybe an orange roll. That's what I was thinking too, but a few people had said that they wanted to. But more importantly, I will be cleaning up a lot of the Discord, channels, like I said. So, not gonna lie, I was getting a little bit overwhelmed by how many channels we have. Like, does hobbies even get used? I mean, hobbies gets used. I don't know. Movies, I mean, they all get used, but like movies and TV doesn't get used that often. So like movies and TV, I'm probably gonna get rid of. We just talk about it in general discussion anyways. So, anyways, that's pretty much it. And then, what else has been happening? Not much. I did a big cleanup yesterday. Huge cleanup. I figured out the 5 or 6 boards that I'm going to be giving away next week. So probably starting tomorrow, we're going to be doing a giveaway. Or Tuesday. And I actually had some friends come over yesterday, and I just told them to take some keyboards, because not for nothing, like some of these like prototypes that are sort of damaged and stuff, I just can't hold on to them, and I don't want to give them away to you guys and stuff because they're damaged. So I was just like, if you guys need damaged stuff, come. and that cleared out a lot of like a junk pile, basically. Alex, if I can give a suggestion, I feel like a server channel for general tech outside of keyboards would be helpful. We end up talking about it often. I feel like there's never a right place for it. Yeah, I feel like maybe we can just move something to like other, like other tech. So roles are divisive. You'll get users ignored because they don't have a role. I was thinking about that too, but I don't really feel like our server's like that. I don't feel like our server's like, oh, you don't have this color of a username, I can't talk to you. I've never seen anyone do that. I've definitely seen people say they want specific colors for their username, so they'll go ahead and like, I think a few people have like subbed to YouTube or whatever because they just want the red color. But I don't think people are, I don't think people really care in our server. Maybe other servers where maybe it's like a little bit more important or something like that, but I ignore everyone in the chat that doesn't have an orange role. What colors do I have again? I don't even remember. I think it's green, no? Oh, I'm the only one that's orange. But yeah, we can do orange as a special color. All right, let's open this thing up, shall we? I hope everyone's been having a good Sunday, though. Honestly, like I said, I'm so thrown off with today. I have no idea what's going on. I'm so thrown off. Ignore everyone in Discord regardless of roles. Here's the case, by the way. Oh, let's switch back to this. That's the side profile of the board. If you guys aren't familiar with Gray Studios, they've been around a while. And they make, I don't want to say out there keyboards, but they make keyboards that are definitely a little bit more, maybe out of the norm is a better way to put it. It's a fun box. Definitely a little bit more stylized. Might be a good way to describe it. Ambitious is a good way to use it too. Potter never disappoints in his presentation of the parts. So we have a hot swap PCB. Please test before assembly, which is awesome. And we'll go over the price here in a second too. We have hardware and gaskets and stuff. Everything's labeled, which has been a thing Gray Studios does forever, and I seriously appreciate that. We'll go through all this. It does look like a pogo pin connector, which is new for Gray Studios. Love to see that. We have foam, optional, which is really fun. I'm going to put this in here. We have an FR4 plate, which I do believe there's a few different options for a plate, but this one here is the FR4 plate. I wish Gray Studios boards came in cases, not boxes. I think that's a lot of people's wish, to be fair, though. I think a lot of people are starting to... There was like a weird phase where everyone was like, yeah, I don't mind either or. And I was in like the, yeah, I kind of get it. There are people who don't want more hard shell cases because they can't really recycle them. But then nowadays I'm more like, yeah, I kind of prefer the hard shell. PC aluminum FR4. Yeah, I saw that on the side of the box. Thanks, Oak. Yeah, there's a few different choices here. Oh god, this is a little tough to get out. I like the color on this already. I think this is the concrete color, what Potter told me. Concrete or technically silver, whatever you want to call it, but how can I do this? Let's put this aside. And there's a toolbox there too, which is pretty typical of Gray Studios too. And you get out the nice color. Concrete is different. Is concrete technically different? This is a really nice texture. Damn. Silver is anode. Okay. Ooh. This is a really... I guess this is technically an E-coating, right? Let me take some of the foam and plastic out of here. That is... I don't know if the texture is coming through nicely on the camera. That is a nice coating. Very pretty. Ooh. It's a powder coating. Ooh. Actually, this is quite a nice looking board. Tasteful hue of gray, yeah. There's that side profile. Again, very typical of what Potter has designed for Gray Studios. Very stylized. I've always liked this. I've always thought this was like my style if I didn't have to go for something more minimal and timeless. Yeah, yeah. If it's not coming, Oak's probably seen this. And if it's not coming through as nicely on my video camera here, let me tell you guys, this is a really nice texture. That is really cool too. There's some LEDs. You can see the diffusers there. I like what they did with this. Very cool. Actually, I like this little lip that's on the back over here. I think this little kind of foot almost looks really cool. I prefer a case to a box. Yeah. Most cases can fit a build, but most boxes, in my experience, will not. Yeah, I agree. Pogo pin connector over there, which might have to just readjust because I feel like it's kind of loose, but cool. Very cool. And we have push-in feet, it looks like, which is a nice touch too. So how does this... Okay, I guess I'll have to figure out how the unscrewing of this case works. Interesting. There's a build guide that'll probably follow here. Actually, let me grab the plate and then I'll put the box on the side. I prefer this take on futuristic designs over the QWERTY keys in Matrix. Yeah, the way I'm going to describe this and like why I kind of prefer this as like the futuristic design is for whatever reason, and this sounds ridiculous, this feels more familiar to me than some of the stuff that QWERTY keys does and like Matrix does and stuff. Don't get me wrong, it's cool what they do, but this feels more like a familiar futuristic, like something that maybe when I grew up, this is kind of what I envisioned as like futuristic stuff. I'm not sure how to describe it well, but all right, let's put this to the side and let's take a look at that PCB. Oh, actually, you know what? Let's go over pricing and stuff. God, my camera's not liking this right now. I do like the color of this. You'll need the hex bit to take it apart. Okay. I'm gonna look at the build guide too, because that was on the thing you sent, Oak. By the way, thank you for that, Oak. So, pricing on this will be $320 to start, and then if you want one of the powder coatings or the electrophoresis coatings, that will be $340. Not bad. Shipping will be a flat fee of $40 being DHL. I mean, it is what it is. You know what? I'd prefer to spend a little bit of extra money in shipping, knowing I'll get it in time and safely. Again, DHL has never let me down, so it does add to the cost of the board. But yeah, $320 is not bad for a starting price here. There are some interesting colorways. We have Quicksilver, which is anodized, which is a silver top and a silver bottom and a black badge. If you guys want the link, the exclamation point build command will have a much more in-depth description of all the colorways. There's Top Gun, which is a cold gray color. There's Darth Vader, which is black. There's Peach Pink. I want to see what the pink Anno looks like in person. Pink Anno is tough to pull off. Iceberg, ice blue, okay. Mecha 01 is purple. We have Tyrael, which is dark gold. I also want to see what that looks like. Concrete, which is what we have here, which is cement gray color. We have Gravel, which is a gravel color. We have Bruce Lee, which is a E-coated color, which is yellow. We have Storm, and we have Khaki. Very familiar colors that normally we see with Gray Studios. Some new ones, though. Do you think the board justifies the price? Well, judging based off of the parts that we have here, because the way I kind of look at it is, okay, how many pieces do we have, and then is the coatings all good, and what other pieces do you get inside the box? I think $320, just from not even building this yet, feels very fair. We have a top and a bottom piece. We have a bunch of accent stuff going on here, and there's technically it's a two-piece LED system. Well, I think it's an LED and a daughter board plus a main board there. So I think $320 is very justified for this. Cool. Actually, I like this little badge on the top too. All right. This camera is not liking this view today. 320 is about right. Any higher, and I'd say this feels a little bit tough to sell, but I think 320 is the perfect price point for this. Okay. I can tell you right now, I do not like the way this PCB is packed in this, but it is like caught on something. Maybe we'll have to cut this open. Such a nice board. Can't wait to pick one up. Yeah, great. Like I said, Grey Studios for me is very nostalgic. Very, very nostalgic boards. Okay. Ooh, is this a 1.6 mil PCB? No, actually, is this 1.6? Let me see. Let me see the specs on the... Where is the PCB here? It's a 1.2. You know what? I'm still happy with this. No flex cuts. Looks like we have a little LED indicator over here as well. Hot swap, so this is the only PCB they're going to be offering. It does look like you have some options to pick from here for choices. I'm happy with this. We don't have all the options in the world, but at least we get some different bottom rows and we get a step caps. Can't really ask for much more. I feel like this right here is what I consider like the bare minimum for what I prefer. And maybe not bare minimum, but like just this is nice. Like this is a good enough where you can choose your bottom and you can choose your caps lock. Now, would I have loved to see like step caps in this and some other stuff? Yeah, sure. It's beyond my understanding why there's no solderable PCB option. We can have split backspace step caps and 7U bottom row, which is kind of contradictory. My camera hates this. Well, okay, let me let you guys in on a little secret. The reason why a lot of companies are going away from solder is because they don't sell, unfortunately. Basically, the sales stats that I've seen from businesses that I've asked just to kind of share with me and just so I can get a better understanding of what people want. Let's just say there's 100 boards that get sold. The stat for that is about 85% want hot swap. So a lot of brands don't really want to make solderable PCBs anymore because they don't sell and then they sit on a lot of stock, especially for in-stock stuff. So does playlist boards get lesser sales? Yeah, I mean, not for maybe some of the more enthusiast stuff. Maybe that's like a different situation. I don't have like a good stat for that, but in general, like most of the boards from the major brands, I'd say, they don't sell solder PCBs, guys. It sucks because I want solder as well. Here, like I do. I really want solder. I love solder. I personally feel like solder is a better experience for me. Look, even Bull's sharing right now. Bull said I usually have 65 to 70% on higher end boards for hot swap. So it's unfortunate, but it's kind of like a response to market demand, which sucks for people who want solderable stuff. But that's what I'm saying, guys. Like, and I know this is, I never really like preaching this because, you know, obviously spend what you can and don't go overboard. But if you do find a board you like, get the solder PCB. Support the solder aspect of the hobby. I don't know. I used to think that solder is going to get phased out, and I still kind of do. I feel like solder at one point will only be like the real enthusiast, like, and I say real as in like, you know, like the extremely enthusiast stuff. But I feel like more and more people just don't want to solder. So I get it though. I understand. I do. But it's unfortunate because I like the art of doing it. You know, it's a nice thing for me. Feels like it comes back to the whole catchball mount thing too. People want the process to be easier, hence why those things get popular. Soldering and screws can be more of a hindrance. Yeah, convenience is king. That's always going to be the quote that I'm going to live by. Convenience is king. Alex thinks hot swap users are fake enthusiasts. Okay, dude, I didn't say that. Oh god, hiccups. I got a hiccup attack. Jesus. Alright, I guess let's start with some stabilizers. Actually, what's in the toolbox? Potter always puts some nice screwdrivers in here, so let's see. A lot of people get one hot swap and one solder. Oh, this is like the standard ones. You know what's crazy? This is from my last Grey Studios board. And look, another one. I love these things. I don't know, these tweezers are so good. It's always nice to have an extra pair. And then you get a magnetizer as well. Yes. I couldn't find mine when we moved. So now I have a magnetizer and a demagnetizer. Perfect. Wonderful, wonderful. Actually, let's just keep this out. I'll use all this stuff here. I feel like once I solder my first PCB successfully, I won't go back to hot swap. Yeah, and don't get me wrong, there's benefits to both systems. I do like a hot swap board when I don't know what I'm using in a board. It makes things a lot easier. I agree. But for the most part, I also like this mystery of I'm living with the choice that I made. So, it is what it is though. No shame to whatever system you like better. No shame at all. Do I have any 1.2 mil PCBs or stabilizers? No, but you know, I'm gonna use these mode stabs, I think. Is this a new pass? It is. I'm gonna use mode stabs. Are you coming to meet next week? I'm gonna try. I think Keeb Science mentioned it to me. I'm gonna try, and I wanna see if I can bring some cool things. Tweezer's also good at opening switches. I suck at using the tweezers for opening switches. I do suck at that. Alex, you are the cool thing. Well, I was gonna maybe bring some of those mystery switches to the Toronto meetup. I'm gonna see if I can, if I'm allowed to. And I was thinking about bringing some other cool things, but nothing that's secret or anything. But 1, 2, 3, 4. I need 8 total. Are you going to the GMK meetup in Germany? I'm going to keep it a buck with you guys. Finances have been a little tight recently. Everything's kind of slowing down when it comes to keyboards, and then also just life's getting kind of more expensive. Not because I'm buying things or anything, it's just in general, things are getting more expensive. So I've had to kind of, I really badly wanted to go to Germany, and I really badly wanted to do even like a trip out of that, not just go to the meetup. But after kind of just sifting through some finance stuff, I just don't think it's feasible. It comes down to, if I do this, it's going to be basically by myself, not with my girlfriend. And how can I word this? That'll be my trip for the year. And if I'm going to have some fun money or whatever to spend with, I think I kind of want to do a mini trip or something with her. And not just kind of be selfish and just do the one thing for myself. So it's coming down to that. Moody, thank you so much for the Prime. I really appreciate that, man. Thank you, dude. That's very fair. Thanks, guys. I appreciate that. I had a big panic about finances the other day. Ultimately, I know I'm fine. Yeah, like, don't get me wrong. I don't want anyone to think that I'm not okay. It's just when you really kind of look at everything, it's like I need to be a little bit responsible just in case. So it'd be fun, but ultimately it is very expensive to go to Germany. So we'll see. Good afternoon, chat. Putting this in the background while I play some Split Fiction. What's Split Fiction? Also, hi, Jen. Thank you again, though, Moody Dog. I really appreciate that, man. Cost of living in Toronto is higher. We can't afford anything here. Yeah. Yeah. It's kind of ridiculous, but it's okay. All right, let's loop some stabs. Let's use 205 for this. And where's my little lubrication tray? Where'd I stick ya? These are mode stabs. I like mode stabs. I've heard some people have mixed opinions about them for north versus south facing switches, but I tried to replicate it and I couldn't get it to replicate. So I don't know. I've been meaning to get a Split Fiction. Oh, is that the Takes Two people that did that? No way, Split Fiction is out. Well, I have to pick it up. It's like a co-op game, right? Good afternoon, chat. Oh, sorry, I read that one there. But this makes some experiences are best when shared, IMO. Yeah. Like, I'm not going to lie. I really want to do another trip to Banff. Banff, I think in total for the week was about $1,200 each. And that's as much as I think I am comfy spending right now. $1,200 would not cover Germany. So... And I also think that it would be nice to go there again for a few days at the very least. just to kind of like de-stress and decompose, like not decompose, decompress. Decompose would not be good to go there for. Finances are always in the way of fun things. I almost met you when I should have traveled to NK Meetup last year with Jay and MVKB. However, this would have left my budget really tight for the rest of the year. Yeah, and you guys know I've been streaming for how long? About 4 or 5 years right now. My message from day one has always been financial responsibility. I've been in situations, and I lived through it, where I was really stupid with my money. No matter how many times people warned me, they said, "Oh, you gotta be more careful." And I was like, "Nah, I'll spend every dime that I have." And then when push came to shove, I felt like I was very behind because I was like, "Damn, I have literally $0." And there was a lot of bad choices. So financial responsibility always comes first here. Have you considered visiting Northern Ontario? We do want to do that as well. I think this fall, we're going to do a lot of that. Tap Tap Sunday. Hi, Zach. How you doing, man? Finances this week have been so stressful. Yeah. The one thing I will remind you guys about, maybe these are good things to remind you guys. I'm doing this today. Go through your subscriptions. Dude, I have a subscription for Game Pass that I feel like I don't use very often for like the Microsoft thing. And for example, I've had that running for about 5 months, and it's not a crazy amount of money, but I think I've only used it 3 times, and I can't really justify it right now because I don't think there's any games I want to play on it. So I'm going to be getting rid of it today. You know, and you should go through them. Like, there's even maybe a subscription you've forgotten about. You know, one time, my most embarrassing moment was I forgot I was subscribed to Crunchyroll for almost a year, and I only watched it for one time for one show, and then I just lost track of time and I forgot I was paying for it. So, and usually I'm really good. It's the problem. The problem is, I got sucked into this trap where I have 2 or 3 different credit cards now because of points. I'm sure you guys know what I mean. Points on every credit card. There's one credit card where I don't do a good job of checking, but you get extra money, like extra cash back or something for subscriptions, and I put it on that one. And I was just like, oh yeah, I didn't put anything on that. I never use it. And because I have it set to auto pay, like you just don't realize it. But yeah. Only subscriptions I currently have are Discord Plus and being subbed to you. Thank you, Joe. I appreciate that, man. But yeah, Discord is also another one that I actually... that's a good subscription. I like having my Nitro, or whatever it's called. Yeah, you can make them work for you in a little bit of a way. Like, you can kind of... If you're good, you can collect points. Like, for example, there are some good promotions for that, but you have to really be on top of them. You can't let them control you in a way. Oof. I need to posture check. You guys are right. My back's not good. If you lack some self-control, just stick to using a debit. Yes, exactly. Debit's a great way to start if you don't have the self-control. I agree. Luckily, I'm proud of myself. I've gotten a lot better. But at one point, I did cancel everything except for one thing. So I got to deal with Chase card where I get unlimited double cash back for a year. I abused it like hell. Confused. Let me tell you, bro. I love that for you. And I did the same thing. We had I had a deal which was 6 months of... I think the normal amount was 1%, but I got like 4% back or something like that. And when I checked back, it wasn't a lot of spending that I did, but it was like I had $500 or $600, which I used to buy a keyboard. So it was a cool, like, free keyboard on the credit card company, kind of. But it was nice. I'm sure they make tons of money off of what I do, but... So it was a nice little thing. I pretty much only use credit. I can't remember the last time I used debit. Yeah, I mean, I just use my credit card and then I pay it off the moment I get home. When I bought a new camera and lens recently, I specifically used a 6% back, paid it off immediately, and earned through. Damn. Dude, I did not get anything with my camera purchases. How does cashback work? So it depends on what you're buying. The only way that I will say, okay, let me preface this. I'm not a financial advisor or anything, but let me tell you guys about my experiences with credit cards. The best way that I've found to use them is if you have some sort of cashback card or point system card. Typically, at least here, they kind of offer both. You don't get much. It's like 1% in some cases. But if you do find you have like daily transactions, what I like to do is, first of all, I make sure the card can be auto paid, just in case I forget. Either way, once a week, I come home, like on Saturday or whatever it is, and I sit down and I pay off the credit card. So those are my first like little things there, where if you are not good at doing that, don't even listen to me. But the way that I've kind of made them work for me is on a lot of like grocery purchases and like everyday purchases. It is fantastic because you can get some cash back. It's not much, but you have to remember, over the course of a year versus just using your debit card, which maybe has no point system or anything like that. Like, if you're paying off your credit card, you're not losing anything by using it. In fact, it might even help you build a credit score. But again, I'm telling you guys, you have to have self-control, and you also have to have some sort of understanding of how it works. But yeah, it's nice. At the end of the year, sometimes I get $200 back. So it's nice. It's just like an extra few $100 that I can spend on like grocery bills and stuff. Yeah, I think $200 to $300 is pretty much the average for people, BRS. Treat credit cards like a debit card? Yes. Treat them like debit cards. And then my other advice to you guys too, set your limit extremely low. Do not put a big limit on them. And again, follow some of the advice. If you guys are like, maybe kind of wondering, one of my pieces of advice, it's always been like that. And I treat it like this too. Sometimes, I get a little like, oh, maybe I should. If you can't buy something 3 times over, don't buy it at all. Okay? Meaning, if this tweezer costs $20 and I only have $40 in my bank account right now, I'm not going to buy this until I have at least enough money to buy it 3 times in my bank account. And then let me tell you guys the other trick to doing stuff. If you want, set yourself up a little account in your bank where you put 5% of your money towards, and you can use that as your fun money. That is something I also do. I do that right now. That's actually how I got, like, over the years of saving and stuff, some of my fun stuff. I just put a little bit of money aside, and then when I have enough in that little savings account, I go and buy it. Listen, I am not very financially literate for a lot of things. Like, I learned a lot of this stuff way later in life, which sucks because I wish they taught us this in fucking school. But I think it's well worth it to kind of learn some sort of, watch some videos about it and, just learn a little bit. I honestly, sometimes I look at it and I think I feel a little overwhelmed and I feel like a little angry sometimes that I never learned this in school, which it really does make me angry. Because I wish I learned this instead of some stupid thing that, like, I didn't really need to know some of the science stuff because I never got into science. And I wish it was, like, optional that I can learn about how to better manage my finances versus the reaction from 2 chemicals I'll never fucking use in my entire life. But, how do you track your spending? We use a spreadsheet. We're diligent about it. This is a very adult conversation, so I apologize if this bothers anyone, but dude, if you guys are with someone or if you guys are alone, once a month, sit down and go through your finances. We just use some free one we found for Google Sheets on the internet. Just use one of those. Sit down, track how you're spending. Another just very simple way to even do it is just once a month, maybe on the 10th or the 20th or the 15th, whatever, the 1st, write down you have $10,000 in your bank account. The next month, maybe you see $9,000. And now that you have it written down, you can be like, okay, why do I have less now? If you don't love going through each individual expense, this is how we started. because we weren't going through each individual line item. Now that we've done this because we've been doing this for almost 2.5 years. Actually, maybe longer. Now that we track like every month, now we start tracking, like now we've been a little bit more diligent because also we need to, is okay, how are we spending that money? Like, why did we lose $1,000 this month? Or I'm just making things up, but like, why did we gain $500 this month? Like, where is that, coming to? Once you start writing these things down and you kind of understand like how your money is working, I feel like even things like hobbies become a lot more enjoyable where you're not stressing the fuck out about them. So that's kind of what we're doing. And it's a very difficult conversation to have with a partner sometimes, in case you guys are in that boat, or it's even a difficult conversation to have with yourself. Because you know what happens when you start writing it down? Sorry, I spit a little bit. You know what happens? You have to start holding yourself accountable. That's the thing that happens, and that's the scary part. Because you'll start to have to be like, why did I lose $1,000 this month? How did I spend X amount of dollars this month? And it's pretty crazy. Isn't it possible to wind back on Twitch? No, but you can just, the VOD gets recorded live. So I think if you just hit videos, you can just go there. I track everything once every 2 weeks. I go line by line and put it in my Excel tracker. Since 2014 has a balance, check, percentage categories, average savings, give me sense of stability. I love that for you, BRS. And dude, you know what's crazy? I love that you've been doing that for so long. I only recently started doing that. Did I already file my taxes? No, it's not due till the end of April, isn't it? I haven't done it yet. Usually I do it in February. This month, I'm a little slower at doing it. We had to wait for some stupid form to come in. And dude, the mail system has been so fucking slow, so we only got it Thursday or something like that, the thing that we need. You got yours back already, Elquan? God damn. I filed mine already? Yeah. I'm probably going to do it this week or next week. What am I doing? Alex, will you be going to the keyboard meetup abroad? Actually, this is what sparked the whole conversation. Maybe. I'm not too sure. Probably not, though. Finances have been kind of a little bit, like, tighter, I guess. So, we'll see. Let's see. Where is my dielectric grease? Budgeting, whether on a small scale or big picture, should absolutely be taught as a life skill. Yeah, there's a lot of things. Like, dude, even, you know what bothers me, too, is, like, we somewhat had a civics class, which essentially in a simple term is like how to apply for a job in like the job world. But dude, I remember writing cover letters, and that's it. That's really like the major thing I learned how to do. We sort of learned how to do a like reference sheet and just a application sheet, but it wasn't like great. Like it wasn't a great learning moment, I guess. And I wish those things were more in detail. And civics class ended up being more about just like, general stuff. Yeah, these are mode stabs. Actually, does this come with a Phillips screw head for this so I can take apart the stabs? It did. Okay, let's do this one. Personal planning, which was super basic and mainly about car payments and sex ed. Yeah, I mean, dude, they did the same thing with us. A lot of it was shoved into like a category that just sort of told you how to write a cover letter and stuff like that, but it didn't like cover letters are not for nothing. I've done recruiting for a business that I worked for one time because they needed to I need to hire, when I was doing photography, I had to hire a photography assistant, and they wanted me to be the person hiring, and I had never done that before. And let me tell you guys, cover letters, it's just something I didn't even read them. Like, it didn't, like, you can basically at the time, like, there was just templates that most people followed. It was more just like, what job experience do you have? I feel like cover letters in the real world, at least for the majority of stuff that I've applied for and that I've hired for, like, I don't know, impractical. Home finance, sex ed, family planning, and politics should be an absolutely mandatory in every citizen everywhere. Yeah. I agree. There should be a lot of stuff. like learning about the country that you live in. Like for here in Canada, like, and I don't mean history. I mean like, what laws should I follow? You know, like, how do I do all these things after I get out of high school? But yeah, I do have a little bit of disdain for some of the stuff that I learned, and there were some amazing teachers though. Like I had teachers in high school. For example, my world religion class, I don't think we did a day of world religion. It was mostly my teacher just kind of going off topic, teaching us life lessons. And I'm very grateful for that. How to unbend a desk. No. Dude, you know, that's one thing I didn't have in high school that everyone says they have. I didn't have like a wood workshop class or whatever. I don't know if that's a thing here in Canada anymore. I know my dad said that he had it when he was younger. I would love to have one of those. Which shows? Bro. That's fucked up, banana. I would love to have a wood shop class or something. But yeah, we never had those. I did have one for a small period. Yeah, I would have loved to, man. We had wood shop in Otto. Dude, I had art. That was really like art. Like the only cool thing that we did was we developed film. My science teacher once taught us about rock, then proceeded to spend 30 minutes talking about history of rock as a music genre. I mean, that's kind of interesting. Resumes, CVs, and even the interviews show next to nothing about how well they will work and fit into the team. It's all about crapshoot. And that's why references and connections are so strong in securing a job. Yep. I agree with that wholeheartedly. My school had none of these cool, like, hands-on courses. Yeah, we had nothing. Like I said, really only photography. But, I mean, that was short-lived when I was in high school because that was the tail end of when film was popular. My Milky Yellows get delivered tomorrow. Never used any mod it, so I'm pretty hyped. How are you modding them, Liv? I hope you like them. I really do. Actually, this is a nice screwdriver. God, that feels really good. Let's do this one here. But yeah, anyways, like I said though, guys, to go back to the core conversation, if there's one thing I can really encourage you guys to do here, start tracking your finances and just start really dialing in like money in and money out type thing. It helps a lot. Even if you don't think you need it, it can really kind of like, if you start going through how you're spending, you'll find a lot of maybe like, oh, I didn't know I spent money on this. Do I really need that? And then you'll kind of find money within your own money type thing. Trust me, it helped me a lot too. I see Matthew and Cena and keep wondering, why didn't I see the awesome application of woodworking and DIY as a kid? Maybe no one was around to show me. I also, like, I don't know how old you are, Keep Apothecary, but I feel like people my age, around like the 30 to 35 mark, we were kind of grown up in this era of tech. And I feel like there was a transitional period of, like, we had a typing class in grade school, and those are great. Like, I don't think they're not great. But I think some of the more hands-on stuff got replaced by some of the tech stuff. So, it also takes a ton of money and space to have the equipment to woodwork. Oh, for schools? Yeah. But I mean, schools spend budgeting on other stuff. I think it's just more of a budgeting thing. I just know what bills are coming up per paycheck, and then I put a certain percentage of paycheck to reserve account. After I know what's coming out, then what's money's left is fun money. Yeah, I mean, as long as you're paying your stuff, man. They taught us MS Paint. I remember that too. We played around with MS Paint a lot in school. Oh, sorry, I have to unscrew these ones. Hebel, thank you so much for the Prime. I appreciate it. Thank you. That means a lot. Also, I know finances and stuff are a difficult conversation, so thank you guys for bearing with me as we kind of ranted on about this. I truly believe they're important conversations to have. So thank you guys for bearing with me, and I don't know if this has helped anyone or made people like reminded to do something, or maybe it's just been annoyance, but thank you guys. one of those community woodworking and maker shops one day. I have so many tools that don't get used. That'd be really cool, Scrubs. Always good to be reminded. Yeah, I agree. Burlito's GarageBand? Yeah, that sounds like fancy. We didn't do any of that. I do remember, though, that we did have a... I don't remember why we did this. There was a class that I had that we learned Rhino 3D. And I don't remember why we learned Rhino 3D. Like, I don't even remember if it was prevalent to, like, the course. I don't remember now. Yeah, this is the new board from Gray Studios. I remember taking a web mastery class. Turns out I was quick to learn basic HTML, but really crap at designing a website. Technically, you can be good at one and not good at the other. Also, Alex, I promise at least one person in the chat from the boring chats we bring up every so often. I promise at least one person in the chat will benefit. I hope so. IT teacher was asked for me and shut down a PC by hitting a power button and went on me, but it booted, still saved. What happened in his story? Did he like shut it down while you were working or something? Have you tried the Key Geek Science yet? Polished inner housings, and man, the consistency in my batch has been 100%. No, I have not tried them. Who's selling them right now? Oh, I do potentially have a batch of those HMX Sonias or whatever they're pronounced coming through my way soon. So potentially have a batch of those coming through to try. They have been, you know, I haven't really seen a Switch this hype in a long time. So curious, very curious how they're gonna perform. What happened to Key Geek LMs? Bro, your guess is as good as mine. That's as good as mine. Actually, I have to go through my speaking of Key Geek and Lumen keys, I have to go through my vendor list today. I've noticed there's a few vendors that have just closed their websites completely. I think even Kyocera, I don't know if they've changed their US URL, but they just shut down, it looks like now. I guess because their last board didn't do so well. Actually, let's see. Do they have another website now before I talk shit? No, I think they just closed shop. So there's been a few designers that have been... They just left. Because I haven't updated it in about a week and a half. Just because that's just the longest I've not updated it in. Because there hasn't been many updates. But, alright. Let's do this. That's crazy to have to update that frequently. Yeah, I do update it. I try to do it once a week. But last week I just didn't have time to do it because last week I was like on that mini vacation. And this week was just been pure keyboards. I don't think I'm going to use any foam on the plate config, by the way, for this. And there's the stabs installed. I think I'm going to use the foam, if I use foam, on the bottom. That's usually how I like building Gray Studios boards. Why the fake screws in Gray Studios? Dude, they've had that aesthetic since like the dawn of time for me. So I've just learned to accept it. It's just an aesthetic choice, that's all. But they've definitely had that aesthetic for a while. Again, I don't mind it. No, this is a build that Gray Studios sent us to build. They're letting us keep the board, but as you guys know, that never affects anything. And they usually let us keep the boards for these things, and I usually give them away anyways, which we probably will end up giving this away this upcoming week, as most of the boards I usually have are given away. That's crazy though, to have to update it though. Yeah, I mean, so to go back on that for a second, the reason why we kind of have to is because we get a lot of like fly-by-night vendors. They start off great, and then people tend to just give up, which is shitty. Is that a cherry lip or shadow on the board? This over here? No, this is not really a cherry lip. It's just the design is more slanted downwards. I would not consider this a cherry lip. I'm just gonna test the stabs and see if I need to tune them anymore before we move on with this build. I don't know what set I'm gonna use. I almost feel like dual shot would be amazing here, but I'm kind of thinking boneyard just for funsies. Is that a sorry, hey Alex, don't know if someone already asked this, but how do you how'd you do with the time change? Okay, the full story, while I go get the keycaps and test this, is we sat down last night and we were just chit-chatting, me and my girlfriend. And it was late. Like, I think we started talking at around 12:10, like midnight. And somehow we just were chit-chatting for like 50 minutes. And I never checked the time. And then, oh no, sorry, not 50 minutes, about an hour and a half. And then by the time an hour and a half rolled by, like after our conversation, I looked at the clock and I'm like, it said 3:30 or 3:19 or something. So maybe it was more than an hour and a half. It was probably more than that. And I'm like, what just happened? There's no way we were talking for 3 hours and 20 minutes or whatever time it was. No way. Like, there was absolutely no way. Actually, sorry, it said 3 a.m. and then I got up to go move some stuff. And then I kind of was in a panic mode because I'm like, I have to wake up early tomorrow. And I like literally went downstairs. Like, I was in the middle of lubing these switches. I had to just run downstairs and like shove everything. I haven't even cleaned. And I ran to go to bed. And I'm just like, and I wasn't even tired because like I was kind of in a panic. You know, when you get into like that weird like adrenaline panic phase. But yeah, next thing I know, it was fucking 3 a.m. in the morning. So I was just like, all right. I didn't realize there was a time change today. You know what? I never remember. It's not like I get a little notification on my phone or something. So, yeah. I didn't do so well with it. It kind of screwed me over. And then I missed all the extra stuff I was going to do this morning. I was a little bummed about that. Where did you store your purchase table? Where did you purchase your, I don't know why store came up. Where did you purchase your table? I also need one. This is from Office. This is my most expensive furniture purchase I've ever made in my entire life. This was a bit more pricey, but I really liked it. And I decided I wanted to invest in a work desk, like a good, solid work desk. So I got this guy. And it's a standing desk, which is amazing because sometimes during the day, I hate sitting during the day. Like, I feel like I need to be on my feet or something. And the standing motor and stuff was something I also did a lot of research in. Apparently there's some like really crappy motors. So I did some research on what would make a good standing desk motor. And apparently there are some pretty bad brands, but Office apparently uses a pretty good one. So yeah, the only thing I would not say invest in, I've had a lot of people who told me they have one that don't like it. Also, 50 stream streak is crazy. Thank you so much. Is, according to the people I've talked to, I haven't used them myself, but desk treadmills are apparently not the easiest thing to work with. Apparently they can cause a lot of like distraction more so than anything. Like, they have benefits, but for some other stuff, So I was gonna get one of those because they're not expensive. Well, some models aren't, but yeah, I'm not gonna do it. I've stayed up past 1 a.m. so often. Did you? I only do that once in a blue moon now. I like my early mornings. I like seeing the sun first thing in the morning. It makes me happy. I get the idea of a desk treadmill, but I also just go for a walk, take a break. Yeah, I agree with that. It's from someone in the EU? I appreciate that. I don't know how you're catching the streams, but I think that's a pretty awesome dream. Last night was terrible for me. I couldn't fall asleep and just woke up so early, running on fumes. Take a nap. Honestly, Boney, take a nap, my guy. Your streams are normally at 1. 12 for the next 3 weeks, though. Actually, they'll be 12 until... When's the next time change we have? Like, September or something? November or something? October? Fall forward, right? So it'd be November or something. I don't know, or full back. I don't know what it is. I feel like the desk treadmill is one of those things where people who try to min-max life should do. Multitasking has been shown to lower productivity anyways. Yeah, I ended up not getting one. That was my thing towards the end there. I just decided, okay, this is something that I'm probably not going to be using. So, so this plate is really nice. It's snapping in the switches like perfectly. And I know I've had some problems in the past, like a long time ago with FR4 plates from Gray Studios. These are really nice. These are W1 diamond switches. I like them. I've always liked them. They have a nicer, fuller sound signature, and they have kind of a unique housing. So I don't know if you guys have seen the top of these housings. They're diamond-like. They're not your traditional top housings. Which could contribute to the way the sound works for these two. I don't have any like science behind it, but no, these are long pole. So I forget the actual travel distance on these particular ones, but I bookmarked them in my shopping list, so I'm gonna get some when I get paid. Oh, for the W1 diamonds. Do they have a 4mm version? You know what, these... Let me triple check. Maybe I'm talking out of my ass, but I remember W1 diamonds being long pole for some of them. Let's see. I don't remember which color is which for the W1 diamonds. Let's go Keybay Tech. Love Keybay Tech switch. Depends on the color, yeah. These are the pink ones. So the pink ones are 3.8. Oh wait, sorry. The pink ones are... Oh no, the pink ones are full travel. Never mind. The other ones I have are going to be 3.6. So the pink ones are full travel. But you're still a priceless gem in my eyes. Thank you, Zane. Appreciate it, man. Kind of reminds me of TTC Neptunes. Did Neptunes have the same housings? The white ones were 3.6 as well. Yeah. The pink ones are new to me. I only used them one other time on the origami TKL. So these are kind of new. I'm not used to these ones here yet. Speaking of long pole full travel, have you tried the 1989 HMX switches? Yes, I think those are using new molds, right? I'm pretty sure those are part of the new molds. I don't think I've seen them with the pink stem. Oh, for these ones? I mean, they have them. Do they have these on sale right now? I mean, if you guys are ever curious, a pack of 10 for the W1 diamonds, if you guys are curious. I don't know if they have any more of the full travels. Oh, they do. They're 25 cents each per switch. Canadian dollars. I don't know what, let me see what US dollars. They're 20 cents USD per switch. So they're pretty good prices right now. They're technically, I think, on sale. So, I don't know. I think they're good prices. And like I said, I've used them for, I think I've used diamond switches about 6 or 7 times total. Does it ever stress you out trying to keep up with all the switches people mention? It used to. And I think you know what stressed me out the most, Keepothecary, if I'm being open and honest about it, is I used to be, dude, I used to read like people's comments about me on different Discords and stuff like that. And sometimes I still do, but some people would make fun of me for not being like living and breathing all the fucking switches in the world and all the keyboard news. But I've just learned to be like, okay, I don't need to worry about that. Like, I'm just going to do my own thing and enjoy the hobby the way I want to and share that joy with other people. But yeah, it doesn't really stress me out anymore. It is stressful to see all the names sometimes. It feels like too many choices if you have to make a buying decision, but hearing people talk about it, I think it's cool. Use code Alexotos. I don't know if there's a code for Keybay Tech. Maybe. I think I have an affiliate link though for them, but there were some content creators that I unfollowed because it was literally just a new HMX switch every day, literally every day. Oh, like they're just using too many HMX stuff? What do you mean by that, Alaska? Like just too many differences? It's hard to follow like a standardized switch or something like that? Milky Yellows and Nixies, done deal. Yeah. Like I said though, my personal boards, I have quite a variety of switches. But I feel like when we're testing boards, I kind of have to go with switches that I know will sound good on, like they stand out on their own. You know what I mean? Like I'm fine with using W1 diamonds because I know they sound good and I've used them in personal builds and stuff like that. But I mean, that's why you guys typically see me use the same switches all the time. There are some boards where I use HMX. But yeah, I typically just use the same thing. That's why I bought this many plus another bag of this MX Blacks. You know, like that's why I'm doing all these things. Helps you evaluate the board. Yeah, exactly. And then you can kind of, if you know your switches, like if you have a switch you end up liking, you can be like, yeah. I love KTT switches. They're very well made and the tolerances on them are very good. Depends on sound signature for the per switch though. But I appreciate the kind words though. It was like, here we have a new HMX switch in every video. People like HMX because they don't have to lube switches and it's just really easy to grab a set of HMX and have at it with content and stuff. I'm not gonna lie, I sometimes use some of the HMX switches because people tell me that they really want me to try a pre-lubricated switches. But I would say probably like 85% of the videos that we do and content that we do, like even today, I don't know why my camera's so this way. This is all hand lubed. Every last bit of this is hand lubed. I don't know, I feel like personally, part of the joy of hobbies for me is doing something meticulous. Everyone's variation of how to hobby is going to be different, by the way. So this is not hating on anyone. But for me, I think there's a joy in breaking something down and kind of adding my own touch or spin to something to every part of the way of doing something. I think it's really fun. What's up, Alex? Hope you're having a great Sunday. Sorry I'm late. How is up, Derbs? How you doing, man? Oh, Comic, what's up, dude? Yeah, no one's late, by the way. There was just a time change. So this is technically early for some people in some parts of the world. I am definitely using GS2 more these days. I don't know. I feel like I like it. These were done with 205. These are 205 for these ones. But the new MX2As that I'm doing GS2. I have something very important to tell you in chat. Tell me, Scrubs. I think what we like about the hobby is the flow state we get doing to it. Yeah. Sometimes the flow you get into a hobby as well. I need the distraction of this keyboard hobby, which is why I look forward to some tasks like soldering or lubing. Yeah. Dude, even last night when I was lubing switches, I was just watching Marvel movies because I was like, fuck it, I'll put on some like old Captain America and stuff like that. It was just nice. It just feels good. I don't know how you guys lube switches to like TV shows or music or something. I'm very healthy to stay a champion for your own likes in the hobby. Yeah, I think everyone should just do what they want to do and enjoy. For me, this is what I like. Thanks for being a nice human. Thank you, Scrubs. Do you have any opinions on using HMX switches in very high-end boards? Do whatever you want to do. I am of the camp of just build the keyboard you want the way you want to. Like, I don't care what you guys do. It is not my business. Just like it shouldn't be my business for any life choices that you guys make that are not hurting yourselves, you know? If you guys want to put $20 switches in a $10 board, you guys do you. What am I supposed to say? Like, just enjoy the process. If you're asking me what I like doing, it's a mix. There are some boards, the HMX switches sound fucking lovely in them, but I mean, I still like cracking open a switch, lubing it, knowing that I did it. It makes me feel accomplished. It's not even sometimes that I think they feel better. It's just I like the sense of work that I put into the thing that I did. That's really all it is. Are people gatekeeping experimentation in this hobby? I don't think anyone here is. I hope other people aren't. I really hope other people aren't. HMX is definitely oversaturated in the market and social media, but they're good. They're also good switches. They're super helpful for beginners. That don't want to spend money on all the materials and supplies for lubing. Plus, they're cheaper than a lot of switches that are only better if you put hours of work in. I'm not surprised they become very popular. Same, I agree. That's why it's a hobby. People can do whatever they want to do. Exactly. The whole hobby revolves around preference. You can't really judge or criticize someone for enjoying something the way they want to. Yep. It's even with spending money and stuff. Like, I can't tell people how to spend their money. I can only tell you if I like something or not. That's it. Or if I find value in something. We're not really in a great position in the hobby to be like, this has better gains and will make you a better typist. So that doesn't really exist in this hobby. It's all personal preference. And that's why sometimes when people are just like, well, why would I, like, the $30 keyboard is, or the $100 keyboard is better than the $300 keyboard. It's okay, then just go buy it then. Like, we all have different preferences and different things we want to spend our money on. These are not significant gains to be like, yes, I am gaining. It's not like a graphics card where you're actually getting performance out of these. That's what people don't understand about the hobby. You're not getting better performance out of mechanical switches in the chassis that you're spending money on. Truth be told, you can just go buy a Dell keyboard and, hey, you have a working keyboard that does 99% of what these other keyboards do. So, all right, we don't need to solder. We've already tuned the stabs. Let's get some stuff going for building the board here. Yes, for sure, Nelly. I'll take a look. I've been pretty bad with my emails the last few days. All right, so I'm supposed to not do anything with the Phillips screws. Also, I love this little silicone wrap around the bit over here that they include. Less things to damage. A friend asked if I'm a better typist now, and honestly, I was surprised by the question. Never even crossed my mind. I'm still the same old typist. You can't argue on social media faster. That's performance. True. True, I guess. All right, so I guess there's another screw here somewhere. You know, let me go look at the build guide. 100% agree with you, Alex. I started off with GK64 and the sound shooter of it was something that made me really happy. It wasn't aluminum. Yeah, exactly. Take off the weight. Take off the weight? How do we take... Oh, it's magnetic. Dude. I was literally about to go look at the build guide, Oak. That is nice. Cool. So that's the daughter board over there for the lights. This is one of the daughter boards. And then we have our pogo pins over here. Floating a little bit on the ribbon cable, which means we shouldn't have any hot spots, which is nice. And then I'm guessing the screws for this are these. Actually, I can't even see. Is that it? Is it these ones, Oak? Hold on, let me, maybe I should just pull up the build guide. There's a nice build guide on this too, so like usually some people don't do that. They don't include build guides, but I mean, this does have one, which is very, very nice. It is these ones, right? Okay. Okay, that was easy to remove. The black ones go inside, okay. I just pressed a little bit more and got it in. All right, so that should just be the case. Now it should separate, right? Wonderful. Very cool. All right, so I guess now my next step is to, now I'll go look at the build guide. Let's go. What happened to the build guide? Did I accidentally close it? Maybe I did. Let's go to me and Oak's conversation. Here it is. It seems so much more complex, but it was actually pretty simple. I left a few screws out when I first did it. Yeah, this is actually extremely simple. The magnetic pieces are a cool touch. I didn't even realize that was magnetic. So the magnets are doing a really good job here. Let's go to the build guide, assembly guide. Test the PCB, which is fine. Install the PCB. Okay, did that already. Gasket mount. Please install the gaskets nails onto the plate as shown. Okay, so we're gonna do the gaskets now. This one here. Macross, but no macros. That's funny. that's funny, man. Okay. Let's do these here. So are these the small part up? The thicker side goes in the bottom. Okay, so we're doing it like this. Wait, did this go over here? Oh no, these go in this. Thicker side goes to the bottom. Oh no, wrong thing, this thing. This can be top mount or gasket. Yeah, I'm seeing the little top mount thingies on this too. But I'm guessing we're doing these here. Sure you don't want to do a top mount? Oak is right. Top mount is better than gasket on this? Well, we can try both. I'm assuming these go here. So we'll do that. Then we'll also have to install these little cushions for this too. Let's install these. We can try both. I went top mount on mine. I haven't tried gasket, but I'd love to hear gasket. I'll give both a go. Interesting to put these in. Alex Bro is not better. What happened? The side profile is kind of like the My 2K in a way. Dude, that My 2K was really pretty. The gaskets are a little awkward to get in. It's not like in the realm of impossible, just a little awkward. Actually, are we missing one gasket by any chance here? We might be missing a gasket. Might be short one, unfortunately. It's not in here. Okay, we may be short a gasket, unfortunately. So maybe I'll just not put it near the space bar. Those aren't the gaskets? These little things aren't the gaskets? Oh my god, these are the hot swap PCB locators. You're right. Those are the PCB standoffs? Okay. Well, actually, hot swap PCB locator. So maybe these aren't it here. Are these it? Plate limiters? No, that's not it either. Oh, these are the gaskets then. Good catch, Oak. So wait, what's a PCB locator? Is this just to put it inside the PCB over here? Oh, these might be the screw. Like, you know how sometimes hot swap PCBs have screws and stuff? These might be for that. Okay, that's my mistake. So we need to use the gaskets. And there's 50 hardness, 70 hardness. Okay, I should have looked at all the bags first. These are the top mount screws. Okay, let's do 70. I think 70 is more my vibe anyways. Good catch, Oak. You gotta love Oak, dude. All right, so they said what, the thicker piece on the, let me double check that instruction piece. Thicker side of the gasket should be on the bottom. Right, I'm assuming it's the one with the point on it. That would make the most sense. Yes, that's what it kind of looks like in these pictures. Oh, these are way easier to put in. Still a little bit tight, but it's okay. Locate your PCB, obviously. Obviously, dude. These are neat gaskets. I'll show you guys the shape because there's some extras actually here. Got that gasket locating technology. So the pointy part goes down. So it would kind of sit on these. Interesting. Very, very interesting gaskets. Then we're going to put these plate limiters in. So I've seen these in the Gray Studios boards before. This is nothing new. These essentially will stop the plate from shifting around. I've actually always really liked this about the Gray Studios boards. Because you know, sometimes with boards we have a little bit of play and they kind of shift around, and sometimes you have to get the mole right and settled in the right spot. This is nice to have, these little plate limiters. Which gaskets do we use? We're using 70A. Is anyone here getting the Fearless? I have too many keyboards recently and I want to support the creator. Fearless. I haven't heard about that one. Who's making Fearless? Alright, I guess, should I just try with no foam at the bottom for now? Or, I'm not sure what we should do here. I guess let's try no foam because this is a pretty simple keyboard to take apart. Yeah, let's just try no foam for now. I'm guessing this is just a spare daughter board. Did it link up okay? I think it did. Hopefully it turns on. Let's actually make sure. Yep, I think it's turned on now. Perfect. All right. Dropping tomorrow, would highly recommend it. Oh, for this board here. I did top mount FO4 case foam long pull switches. Sounds fantastic. Yeah, I'm really excited to type on this board. We'll try top mount as well. Dual shot? I'm gonna use Boneyard today. I'm definitely using Boneyard. Oh, I don't want to make a promise I can't keep, but I have to technically build one more keyboard today. I'm not going to build it right now just because I have to go run an errand after I'm done stream. But I might actually come back on later tonight just to quickly build it. It's going to be a short stream. It's not going to be like a super, long or normal length stream, but in case you guys are interested in watching another stream. How did this go? This goes this way here. Like that. Okay. Like that. That's better. Pretty bored. Do you have the ability to force someone to run GMK Sloth round 2? Force? I don't know about force. I don't know if I could force anyone to do such a thing. Oh, I may have forgotten to put on... It's okay, I'll do it after this. There's a little diffuser thing for this LED over here. A little LED blocker that we may have forgotten to put on. It's okay, it shouldn't affect anything. Let's put some keycaps on. Force via your Keybman clout. I don't know if I have Keeb clout. I'm starting to... I feel like there's other content creators who are better than me, who maybe have more clout and pull and sway in the hobby. I've always been a bit of an outlier. This is the FR4 plate. You mean the King of Stabs doesn't have the most sway? Am I the King of Stabs? Damn. Who has more sway? I feel like there's just bigger content creators than I am. Does Tim have clout? Tim actually is the he has a lot of like pull in the hobby still. Tim is, you guys don't believe me. Tim technically is like the underground like ringleader of things, you know? He's the underground ringleader. He has secret clout. Secret clout that nobody knows about. There's a lot of content creators I miss, Nanu. A lot of fun people that we used to stream with. I miss even basic builds, if you guys remember basic. Yeah, there's so many content creators.
A Sunday isn't the same without an Alex stream. Thanks for all you do, man.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it, dude. That is very kind. This is why Tim killed you in Tarkov. You can reveal his secrets. Yeah, the real reasons are coming out. Do I have any more coffee left? I have a sip or two. I don't think Hamaji's doing any more content though, Nana. I thought Hamaji was done with keyboard. I just made a coffee. I might make one more coffee after I'm done this stream before I go out to run errands. I feel like I need another cup. I loved Near Lucid stuff. I really did. I don't know if they're still putting out as much as they used to, because I do remember they had to, like, they were busy with life. Got my orange Mech Club mug. Dude, do you like it? I have yet to open my box for, like, well, use mine. I got an orange one as well. It's somewhere upstairs right now. Actually, it might not even be here. It might be at my parents' house or something. I had a Red Bull and it's not Red Bulling. I feel like if I have an energy, I'm not an energy drink during the morning type of guy. I know some people who drink energy drinks like first thing when they wake up, and to me, like, that's insanity. I can't do that. None, thank you so much for the tier 1, man.
Hello, chill boy. Nice mustache.
Dude, thank you, dude. Oh, actually, hold on. I gotta show you guys something here. Hold up. So, if you guys don't know, Cass makes a lot of memes and a lot of funny pictures in the Discord. And every now and then, Cass will send me stickers to give away to you guys or just do whatever I want. Usually, I put them in commission builds. So, if you guys remember let me show you the other ones he made. One moment. Cass a long time, and I'm actually almost out of these. He gave me these. And I've been putting these in commission orders. So I have this many left. Well, Cass decided now, there's not a lot of these. Well, there's a lot, but, you know, in the grand scheme of things, I'm only ever going to use these once. Cass decided to give me these. So, I already gave one person a commission order with one of these. Every commission order, I'll put one in. Or every Switch thing that I sell on everything, I'll put it into. These are so cool. So, shout out to Cass. Cass makes the best stickers. 110%, dude. Yeah, I always keep one for myself. Keep one of the doggo for the Toro 60 builds. Yeah, they're both really cool. This was the Greg one with my face in Greg. So that was funny too. Can I please commission one of each, please? I would really appreciate it. Thanks. Well, no, I'm going to probably do this. Like, this is how my normal sticker pack works for people. Let me show you guys. Oh shit, I'm out of pre-done ones. 1 sec. I'll make one right now. Whatever, I'm dropping a whole bunch of things. So I normally give people a thank you card, and then I put a little foil sticker with my signature thingy. And then I put one of these stickers, the logos. And these days I've been just putting, because there was actually a lot of these ones. I'm just gonna do this as like a little sticker pack for people with every commission build. And it just gets sent like this as a thank you. Just some extra stickers. I don't know. I thought it was really cool. Shout out to Cass again. So much fun. I don't know if people care about stickers, but why does the logo look like Alexotos? It could be. If you guys want it to be. Alright. Black Brock, thank you so much for the tier 1, man.
35 big ones. Big love, Mr. Alexotos.
Thank you, dude. Big love back. I love stickers. Yeah, we have a bit of a soft spot for stickers. Even though we don't really use them often, we kind of collect them. Okay, let me hydrate right now. I'm gonna drink some water, though. A 1-key macro pad just for you to build and get those stickers. Yeah, they're actually, that's actually something I should consider too. Maybe I can do a sticker pack for people who do Discord subscriptions or something like that. We'll see. I'll make some fun stuff. I use them on my planner and physical budget planner. I used to put them all on my tool case, but then my tool case got damaged and I wasted a lot of stickers, unfortunately. And then I filled up my solder fan with stickers as well, but there's no more room now. It does make stressful situations more fun. I agree. I agree. What happened? Who quit the hobby, Elkhorn? Did someone quit that we don't know? I can't read any of the conversation now. I really like the keyboard panda sticker I got from Kinetic Labs. Kinetic Labs has really good stickers. I love their stickers. You quit the hobby ad? Unfortunate. I'm gonna miss you, man. What's your next keyboard? What's the next one here? Bills are expensive in Toronto, man. Bro, trust me. I get that. Oh, we got the artisan here too. I love stickers. Stock Exchange throws in with their... Yeah, dude. You know, stickers, for me, they're just fun. Even as a kid, I remember loving stickers. Delete. Actually, this is a really nice set with this. Dang Keep stickers are so cute. They have a nice theme to them for sure. I love the Dang Keep stickers as well. These switches look so dope. I really like the switches. I think they sound really good too. Ooh, page down. Actually, this is perfect. Let me read a few more of the alphas here. Oh, are you guys saying the person who ran Sloth won't do a rerun? I guess that's one of the unfortunate parts about the hobby sometimes, is sometimes designers, when they design something, it becomes like a fan favorite, and they decide that they're never going to run it again. It kind of sucky, because it kind of claims those colors in a lot of ways, or else people will get kind of upsetty spaghetti. It is a bit of a bummer. But at the same time, not for nothing, seeing a lot more of the sets that have been coming out these days, like, I think even like Miklon, for example, and Tribal, and seeing how much fun and interesting ideas people have these days is also worth noting. Like, I do really appreciate how much effort people are putting into some of these sets these days. So All right, so this is the gasket config, and then we'll open this back up and we'll do the top mount as well. I want to see how the LEDs look on this. Oh, those are nice. Very subtle. I very much like that. Actually, that looks really good. Can we see it from the side here? Those are some nice little accent LEDs in the back. And then we have a small LED on the top over here too. Oh, my head's in the way. My bad, guys. Cool. Very, very fun. We've seen this on their last board as well, this kind of same styling. I think this feels a little bit more refined and a little bit more polished though. Also, as for a top mount, or I guess not, it's not top mount, sorry, as a front height, what are we looking at here? Oops. 19.6 millimeters, which is right around the range that I feel is the most pleasant. Well, top end of most pleasant. I believe the tip angle is 6 degrees, but let me see if it says on their website. I'm just making a guesstimate here. Let's see. Let's do angle. Oh, does it not have typing angle on this? Maybe not. Board details here. 6.5. I was right. And they're claiming a front height of about 19. So I think it's a little taller than that. And let's take a look at that side profile one more time. Oh. There's that side profile in case you guys are wondering what it looks like. Very fun. In stock. Dude, this color, this concrete is very unique. I really like this concrete. This looks really good. Oh yeah, the feet. Let's put the feet on. Where the fuck are the feet? Which baggie are they in? Is this it? This is it. The feet are push-in feet as well. So side profile to this is killer. The circle is a magnet. Oh, this is a magnet. Oh yeah, it is. Cool. Probably going to be a lot of interesting accessories with this. Cable, stop sliding around. The artisan is disturbing? I like my artisan. Oh, these are nice. These go in well. They sit pretty securely, I can tell. The new Gray Studios colors are amazing. It's like a mix of some of their old colorways with some new stuff, and I really appreciate that. 2 extra feet too, that's nice. All right. And again, I know there's some LED bleed here. I just didn't put on the little LED blocker, my own fault. I'll put it on when we do the top mount. Let's see how this sounds. It's $320 to start, and then different colors cost different amount, but I think majority of people will probably get the $320 version. All right, let's see. So we're using the FR4 plate gasket, no foam whatsoever, and we're using W1 diamond switches, the full travel versions, pink stems. Pug, thank you so much for the prime. This is really nice right off the bat. Pretty soft too, because that 1.2 mil PCB. It's not as loud. Maybe because it's an FR4 plate. FR4 kind of dulls out the sound. But it's a very pleasant tonality to the keyboard. Like it's not, the space bar doesn't pop as something like that, right? I'm sure if this had the aluminum plate for the gasket, this might actually pop a bit more. I think the FR4 always is going to be that in-between that kind of, you know, does its thing in between. So obviously plate choice will matter here. But for the FR4 plate that I'm usually not a fan of, I'm a fan of this. I'm going to unplug it just in case it makes loud noises when I click the other switches. This is really nice. Really, Keep Silence, I'm going to be real. I think this sounds a little bit nicer than some of the other Grey Studios boards. Yeah, it probably does sound a bit more plasticky because of the FR4 plate. This is not to say that I don't like this, because I actually do quite like this FR4 plate. I think FR4 usually comes across as a bit lower toned, plasticky, and kind of like in between. Thin maybe is a good word to keep off the carry. Not saying it's bad, and I think everyone has different preferences, because maybe this is perfect for some people. Typically, this is why I just go either PC or aluminum. But yeah, if this had a 1.6mm PCB, I do feel like it might sound a bit fuller, but I absolutely do not mind having... Like, this doesn't sound bad at all. I'm curious what this would sound like with a long pull spacebar as well. So we're going to try that too. You know, I will say though, guys, if I had to choose between a 1.2mm PCB and something with flex cuts, I'm picking the 1.2 every day of the week. Okay, I have an Obscura. We're going to try an Obscura here. For the spacebar. Maybe we just need to, because the alphas are there. Maybe we just need the spacebar to kind of brighten up a little bit for people to take a look at here. Yeah, I think so. I think this spacebar brightening it up a little bit, not using a full travel. This kind of sets the tone for the keyboard a little bit better, I'd say. I would love to see this with the aluminum plate. I feel like the alu plate would... Like this, to me, this sounds good already. I would love to see this with alu. Spacebar bias is really helping it out. Yeah, a little bit. Spacebar sets the tone. Like in my mind, when I'm building keyboards for people, the spacebar sets the tone for the whole keyboard. Believe it or not. I've always been a believer in if your spacebar doesn't sound good, you're not going to appreciate your alphas. Because the alphas are really nice on this. I think the long pull spacebar definitely helps you appreciate the really nice alphas on this already. Again, this does, you can have the option of buying aluminum. Damn, I would love to see this with the aluminum. Let's try top mount too. What do you guys think? Not bad for FR4. Derbs, thank you so much. I appreciate that. I guess I don't need to plug this in. Thank you so much for your first prime here, man. I appreciate that, dude. Were the screws on the bottom? Scooped has the alu plate? Dude. Mr. Geoff, did he do a video on it already, Oak? Axel, will you do another round of your mode switches? Oh, Alex. I was like, who's Axel? We are doing another round. I don't know when they're being released, though. So I want to say like just hold out a little bit longer, but I'm going to follow up with them tomorrow because we did talk about it like a week and a half ago. I feel like it's been a little while since I've last reached out, so I'll bring it up again this week. Honestly, personally, never getting FR4 for any mounting. Yeah, you know, again, personal preference when it comes to this, but there are a few boards in which I think the FR4 plate sounds really, 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 really good. Like very few boards, and they usually end up being boards that are just naturally really bright sounding. Yeah, like Salvation is actually one of the boards I actually think it works with. Salvation, Envoy to a certain degree works with it well, but naturally really bright sounding keyboards tend to work the best with it, so. All right, the pogo pin's really nice in this too. So I guess let's do top mount now. Let's flip this over and move this out of the way. I normally manually lube all of my switches, Jopo, except for some of the HMX lineups. So with these ones here, I did manually lube some 205. It's a very it's a very light coating. Can you take a quick peek at the art shown on the top of the keyboard box? Where did I put the box? It's not right here. You're right. The keyboard box does show a split backspace, but I'm not sure why that is. I don't foresee a split backspace being offered with this board, because I didn't see anything about that. Something to, I mean, bit weird for sure, but all right. Guess we have to take off the gaskets here. How does the top mount even top mount to this? Let me grab the screws for it first. Top mount screws. Full backspace is obsolete in 2025? Who said that? I love my full backspace. Leave me alone. I make a lot of mistakes, okay? I do make quite the bit of mistakes. Split backspace is top tier IMO. It is good. It is good. I'm not going to disagree. I do like me a split backspace in some of my boards. All right, so they're even giving us a gasket here, which I'm assuming goes in between the mounts, so to make it a bit of a burger mount here, sorta, an isolated style mount. Yeah, I think that goes in between, so we'll play around with this now. It's kind of a waste for the pipe key to take up so much space. I don't disagree. For how often you probably use it. Okay, so what's going to be an easy way to do this? Should I just put these down first? Yes, you should. Yeah, you gotta be a little careful when doing this, by the way, guys, in case you guys are watching back this video or something. The only reason I'm saying a little careful is because if you hit this the wrong way, these things move out of the way. What I do think really helps is potentially offering some sort of slot that these would kind of sit in so they don't move out of the way when you're doing this. Just some like cavity for these to kind of sit in. Yeah, we're gonna have to be sort of crafty with this, huh? As long as I can get pressure on all of them, we should be good. Oh, this is a Phillips head. Who would you recommend for making a custom keycap set? Well, depends on what you're trying to do, Sniper. If you just want something PBT, there's a lot of options you can pick from. And I just knocked one off. See that? Knocked two off. I might actually have to raise the sides here a little bit. You know what? Let's do this. Let me grab both halves of my thing here. 1 second. Bear with me. Gotta make this process a bit easier for myself. I used to have those like little wedges for things to stand up on, and I don't know where I put them. Another thing that got lost in the move. Let's look at this. That's why I have those two riser pads. Dude, I know I had those too. I don't know what happened to mine. I had foam risers for doing just this kind of stuff. I'm so sad I lost them. I'm sure I could just use any sort of foam block. All right, top mount is a little bit frustrating to put in, but hopefully we get it good here. Start screwing it in now. Need the Teja foam wedge. Did Nathan use those too at one point? I don't remember. I think I have some of the inserts, yeah. I should just make... No, I knocked it over. Did I lose some of my little gaskets? Oh, we're good, we're good, we're good, we're good. I think we're okay. I think so. No, we're not okay. Let me take this out and redo this. My bad, guys. A little frustrating with these little risers. I think you have to use them too, or else it doesn't sit properly. Little frustrating. I should go see if I have some foam stuff here. Yeah, let me go see if I have some. 1 second. I think I have one in the case somewhere. You know what? I'll just use these. I have 2 packs of stabs that I can just use. That is frustrating. Yeah, like I said, that's why I think they should include some sort of little pocket for these to sit in. But then again, with burger mount or anything like that, even remember like a lot of the old Canon keys, O-ring burger mount things, I've always thought they're incredibly frustrating. Here, we'll just do this. This should make the whole process a lot easier. Is it so shameful to want a big pipe? Huh? Honestly, no shame, guys. Build your keyboard the way you want to build it. Build it however you guys feel comfy. No shame at all. I did a top corner, right corner, then a bottom. Yeah, that's what I wanted to do, but I knocked it over. These ones here don't stay nicely. And any recommendation on low profile switches? Oh man, I once dabbled with those, but to be completely honest with you, I have not dabbled with them in such a long time that I don't have a great recommendation for you. It has been a hot minute, to say the least. Did I knock it over? I did. God, this is annoying. That's the right way I'm doing this. The other 2 gaskets were there. Oh no, it's this way. Flip PCB. Yes, 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 yes. All right, let's start doing this now. Where's my screwdriver? Yeah, we're good, we're good. Just spit on the O-rings, huh? It's actually a lot easier with these stab boxes. A bunch easier with them. Special lube? Okay there, guys. Okay there. Actually, you know what even they should have done? Maybe adhesives. Some sort of like light adhesive so it can just stick to the case. Oh, the LED blocker. Yeah, I'll put that on right now. We just screw this one here in. Good call, Scotty. Baggie was it? So many baggies. This one here. I gotta bounce early. Got a buddy's birthday party. Dude, you have fun with that, man. Thanks for tuning in and hanging out while you could. Did some preliminary tests on the MacBook I bought. The fan spin, but briefly due to lack of battery. Hoping display is not broken. Oh, you bought a used MacBook or something? Could you not just put spacers on the screws, then just screw them down? No, I think the spacers need to be in between because it looks like the keyboard would sit weird with the spacers on the other side, Elk One. I think you need to include that little bit of gap between the top case and whatnot. In fact, I think if you don't do that, it won't sit properly and you'll end up bending the plate. See how... Actually, you maybe could do that. But then I feel like these would sit too high. See how that's sitting right there? I feel like that would sit a little too high. And I feel like this makes more sense the way it's sitting. It would increase that gap there. And I think, yeah, even on the top frame over here, Elk One, see how these little gaskets, they're sitting flush against the case almost? Yeah, it would just not work. All right. Maybe an O-ring would be easier, like a silicone O-ring or something. But we're done doing this. That's good. Oh. This just sits here like this. Oh, that's a magnet part too. That's cool. So it's really neat actually.
Pog dog.
It's easier to do like that. Oh wait, does this not sit? Oh, I'm doing this wrong, I think. Hold on a second. How does this sit? Mdraw, thank you so much. That sits between the PCB and the top. Like in here? Oh, maybe like this. Oh, like this. This goes like that. Camera focus going crazy? Oh, is it? Hold on, I have something blocking my camera. 1 second, guys. Why is it doing that? It is not like my desk today. This goes like this. And that would go more like that. Okay. There we go. Done. Oh. I forgot to take out those two little extra gaskets from the case here. All right, let's start screwing this back together and see what top mount sounds like. All right, so I think my only gripe with this entire board is the way the top mount sits. But so far, like just installing everything else is a breeze. Just that one piece. This is Gray Studio, yeah. Oh, wrong screw here. Very nice. Key Spencery's batch of Dune 65 fulfilling soon. Oh, hell yes. For top mount, I guess I got lucky. I got one, but would agree if they were adhesive, it would have been the best. Yeah, if they had done adhesive or if they used some sort of other method where like maybe it was adhesive to the part of the gasket, I feel like that would have been really nice too. Or the gasket tab on the plate. That would have been a little bit nicer in my opinion. I think I prefer the feeling of gasket, but here is going to be how it types and sounds like in the top mount config with the same switches and no foam. Bit more of a resonance or maybe a vibration happening. I prefer it with the gaskets myself. I feel like I need to add the bottom case foam in this. Oh, you know what? I forgot to put these 2 feet on too. So let me just make sure it's not the feet doing anything different here. Let's see if the feet make a big difference. Oh yeah, the feet made a huge difference. Hold on. I still think it sounded better with gaskets. It's still nice though. A little bit of more of a metallic-y sound signature overall. Do you like the spacebar better in this config? Yeah, I also feel like maybe the PC plate would have slapped with this. This does have their sound signature. A little bit, yeah. It's still nice, like there's a brighter alpha. I would still say this sound signature sounds good. I prefer the gaskets. I feel like the gaskets had more of a sound signature that I preferred, as well as the typing feel of the gaskets I felt was better. This is obviously your standard top mount. It's a bit stiffer. I really liked how these gaskets were kind of that in-between. Overall though, pretty nice offering from Gray Studios. Very, very nice. FR4 is good for gaskets, but not good for top mounts. Yeah, I agree with that, Elk1. I've never really cared for FR4 for top mount. Nice sound. Yeah, I mean, dude, even with the FR4 plate, I think this is very good. I would love to see, I mean, yeah, these are kind of more of a tadpole, but not really. I would love to see this with an aluminum plate or even a PC plate. I mean, to me, they killed it with this. This looks really good as well. Price is right. In stock is also really nice to have as well. Cool colors. Gray Studios, they did slap with this one. Needs a 1.6 PCV. I think that might be a matter of preference at that point. But yeah, I wouldn't mind a 1.6 mil PCV as well. Probably wouldn't mind it. All right, though. So, like I said, I'm probably going to be on later in like a few hours. This is a 1.2 mil PCB, yeah. But yeah, it's in stock. If you guys are interested, I think it's on the 10th at 8 p.m. Central Time, I believe. Double check on the times, though. I think it's Central. But in stock at 3:20 to start is pretty fun. I do agree. I'm happy there's no flex cut PCBs on this. It's a fun looking board too. Like I said, very fun. I like the way this looks. It's like the right amount of futuristic. And then also from the top down, it's very like standard, looks good. Love it. The concrete is super unique. I love this color board. I'm actually going to reinstall the gaskets afterwards today, and I'm probably going to main this board for a bit. I love the way this looks. I'm a sucker for anything concrete, first of all, so huge sucker. Here's what's going to happen. I'm going to probably be on in a few hours, and we'll do the... it's 8 p.m. Eastern? My bad. We'll probably do the other board that I want to do, as well as look at some photos. But yeah, I have to go run an errand in like 30 minutes here, so I'm probably going to hop off now. Yeah, I'll take concrete photos on the concrete block. But yeah, you can put dual shot on for more pop too. Thank you guys for tuning in today. Thanks, Gray Studios, for yet another banger of a board. I've always, like I said, have a soft spot for them. They're very, very nice. But let's go see if we can go raid. I don't know when I'm going to stream the other one. Again, it's not promised. I'm just saying I'm probably going to do it because I have to build it anyways. We'll see. We'll see how long my errand takes to run. But let's go see who's building something. I think Ariella is building something here. All right, everybody. You guys have a good rest of your day. Appreciate you guys being here. Love you guys as always. And we'll talk more later tonight or tomorrow. But see you guys. Love you and bye-bye. Love you guys.